Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me today on my YouTube channel. Today I have a flip through of the When God Asks a Question by the Well for God kit. It was our May kit. I loved it and I wanted to show you how I worked through it, and let's get to it. Let's dig in. So I kept it in this Webster's Page Traveler's Notebook, which it has the black stripes in the back, as you can see, and the florals. This little bow is from Sin Sews on Instagram. I'll actually link her for you. And so this is the Traveler's Notebook. You can also get this in the By the Well for God shop. I will link this as well for you. And I keep die cuts in here. You can see there's only a couple left because I used them all. I have like cards that came with the devotional, some of the alphas, the towel alphas. You can see I used a lot of those as well. What's the only things left of the clear stickers that come with the kit as well. They had a coordinating stamp with these cute question marks. I don't know if you can see that. This, not stamp, stencil, I apologize. And so I kept this in here as well. And then the actual kit stamp, I also slide in the back. And then in the back, I have some of, so this one, which is not a clear background, but a white background. These alphas I have, this one comes with the kit, and these are coordinating alphas that you could have gotten, and these are clear. So they actually come on transparent when you put them on your page. They blend in beautifully. So I just keep these tucked in here in the back. Sometimes I put them in here. Sometimes I just keep them loosely there. So I have both the devotional and the Coordinating Travelers TN. It matches, so every devotional she does coordinating Travelers notebooks, and you can purchase this separately as well. So let me dig into the flip through. So I decided to work in my Traveler's Notebooks. You guys know I'm known for working in my Traveler's Notebooks. They're just easier for me to have them in there. Sometimes I grab them, I take them with me to appointments, or if I'm at a soccer game for my kids or practice or what have you, I'm reading the content, going through it, underlining. And so these days I'm not really doing that because everything has been closed, but I still wanted to work in the Traveler's Notebook because it was easy for me to journal, whether I was in the backyard or in my room or at the dining table or what have you. It doesn't confine me to my desk. So I really like this style of working through it. So I embellished it a little bit. I used a little bit of the pattern paper, and here I used the kit sticker. And if you can see, I have the tabs. All of these are tabbed from the pattern paper pack that is coordinating as well, and you can get. Tom has been so nice enough to do pattern paper with the last couple of kits, and so I just used my We Are Memory Keepers tab punch to punch out these tabs, and then I used the alpha tiles to make the day. So as you can see, I have them all divided up. So that's a look at that. Also within the devotional, I do work through the devotional, answer questions and underline, circle, the whole gist. So I do work through the devotional, as you can see, and I answer questions in here. And then in here, I do a little bit of more art, more digging. I like to record verses, and you'll see that. So I did an intro page when God asked a question. I used the Alpha Tiles May 2020 to kind of have the month there, so I remember what month I did this in. I have one of the cards that come with the tabbies. I have a pocket prayer on the back of here where I wrote out a prayer to God about what I wanted from this devotional. So I made a little pocket with the pattern paper as well. Pattern paper honestly works great for a lot of things. And then the first day is, why does God ask? And I did a little prayer. I wrote down the 4 purposes behind why God asked a question. I wanted to feature this verse, Psalms 147:5, and you'll see in the beginning of the devotional, I kind of follow one template, so to speak, to kind of make it easier for me in the first days. And this kind of helps me to keep it cohesive and also to not really think about the art as much as me studying the content. So I still like cute art, but I still like to study the content more. So day 2 is pretty similar. Where are you? These titles, the big titles, are made with the Simon stamp. It's a 6x8 stamp that is in the shop. I will link it if it's still available. I'm sure she'll restock it. Die cuts from the kit, a little quote from Judy, who wrote the devotional, and a prayer. That was day 2. Day 3 was Why Are You Angry? Again, quote from the devotional, a little prayer. I wrote down where we read, date stamp, die cuts, simple, all along the borders. As you can see, as I have here, I am using my foundation contour brush and gelatos, just so you know. On day 4, I have a Bible process for this, a Bible journaling process. I will link it below just in case you missed it. What is your name? I did a little pocket with the cards that comes with the kit, a die cut. This die cut as well comes with the kit. It's like a tab, and I used it to kind of pull in and out my little prayer that I did to God and the verses that were from the devotional. Then in day 5, what do you have in your hand? These library cards also sometimes come, if you're one of the first 100, they come in as a freebie with the Bible kit. And I also did die cuts, a little bit of the alphas, some of the clear stickers, just using up all the goodies. Day 6 was How Long Will You Grieve? And I wrote press on because that's what I got from the devotional. I did a little note to self and a prayer. And on another Bible card, or library card I should say, I did the verses of Philippians 3:14-15. And then we have day 7. So with day 7, I actually used die cuts that I had from a previous devotional kit. And I like using up my stash, guys. So if I saw that these florals kind of mix and match, and I like to use them up, so I use these florals. I used a library card. I actually made the die cuts into like a little pocket. I thought that was so cute to do. So it's not adhered all the way, and it kind of tucks in my card. Love that. More of the stickers. This is a clear sticker from one of the older kits. Here I use the stamp all the way around. So first I went in with my contour brush and my gelato all the way around, and then I layered over the florals. I really love this page. I used the pattern paper diagonally along the bottom to create a little pocket where I put my verses. And this was Where Are You in day 8. And the things that I really wanted to remember was that I need to believe, repent, and be satisfied. Then in day 9, I have one page before the other. In day 9, I have Do You Do Well to Be Angry? And this was in the parable. It was in Luke. It was the prodigal son parable. And I wrote down anger lacks mercy because that's something that I really wanted to remember. And this Do You Do Well to Be Angry actually comes from Luke 15. But I also made notes on Jonah because on day 9, they also spoke about Jonah and how he was angry and how that didn't align with God. And then on day 10 is Are You Not of More Value? And I wrote out these verses and wrote with the Tau Alphas, You Are of More Value. And I used some of these florals are from the previous kit, A Meal to Remember It. And I used these along with gelatos, library card, all the works, guys. Then on day 11, I used a library card. Do you want to be my disciple? Jesus speaking to us. 3 things we have to do. Come after me. Deny yourself. Take up your cross every day and follow me. And I used the pattern paper torn along the top. I love the torn effect. And along the bottom, I also used this washi strip that comes with the kit and this sticker that says what. And this starts off my title, what will it profit? Then there's day 12. And in day 12, the question was, have you never read? And that's based in Matthew 21:16. And this was a card that came with the kit. I used torn pattern paper to kind of make a table to sit my die cut of this lamp and the clear sticker of these library books. I loved the library books. As a bookworm, it really spoke to me. I used it towards the end because I was hoarding it. And then in the devotional, Judy talks about Jesus's most asked question was, have you never read? And I put in another, this was based in Matthew, but I put in another verse that she spoke of in Jeremiah, and also a quote that she wrote and a prayer that I made to God. I really love this day. In day 13, the question is, why do you call me Lord, Lord? And I wanted to make Lord really big. I did a little pocket, again, using the pattern paper and a die cut. I did a little pocket. I used a library card to write in the verse that I was reflecting on. And I wrote out with the Tau Alpha and Clear Alphas, true faith leads to obedience. More verses, a little bit more writing, more verses that we got from the devotional. It's packed with lots of verses and lots of content, quotes, and just things that I really wanted to remember. So I wrote this all in day 13. And then in day 14, the question was, why are you persecuting me? And I love the way that Jesus said, Saul, Saul, and he called his name twice. And I love how Judy talks about how repetition in a Hebrew expression, is an expression of intimacy, love, and conveying comfort, sorrow, or loving reproof. And so I wanted to write not only the title of the devotional that day, but also Saul, Saul really big, so I would remember that. And then over here, she says something as well in the devotional where it's like, the Lord is calling you child, child. So I wrote out with Tau Alphas, Jesus calls child, child, and the verse. And then I have torn paper along the top, torn paper along the bottom, a clear sticker, this cute little clock, and this is the die cut. And I also used another one of those library cards. And that is it. That is a wrap for When God Asks a Question. I really loved working through it in my traveler's notebook. I know I usually show pages throughout the month, but it was such a crazy month, the month of May. But I'm really glad that I really dug in and took my time with it, and I was able to share it with you. I will link everything below. I will have one of the process videos also linked. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Of course, as always, I will have another video up soon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful day. Thank you, and God bless.